Hi everyone, this is Anna, one of your consumer technology specialists at Mid-Continent Public Library. Today we are going to be continuing our Browser Basics series by learning about using multiple tabs in our internet browsers. So, what is an internet tab? Let's first think about tabs that we use in our physical life. So you've probably worked with tabs before. Maybe you have a drawer of hanging files or even a monthly planner. Let's picture a drawer full of those hanging files. So each folder has a portion that sticks out, and you usually write a title or some sort of reference information so that you know what's in the folder. And then you use the tabs so that you don't have to pull out every file every time to know what type of contents are inside of it. Internet tabs work the same way. Each web page you display lives within the internet browser window. And a virtual tab for that web page can be found along the top of the browser's window where the title bar might be. Right next to the tab, you're going to see a plus sign. And clicking the plus sign will open a new tab that will live just to the right of the original tab. To show you how tabs work in an internet browser, I'm going to go ahead and open Mozilla Firefox, which is the orangey yellow icon on our desktop. So we'll open that up. And right now we are looking at one internet browser window. So I have it so it's not full screen so that you can see that everything we do is going to stay within this box. So think of the internet browser box as the drawer that all your files are in. So we've got our drawer open, we've got our browser window open, and right now we are looking at one file, one tab. It is the Google web page, and we can even see in our title bar area that it kind of does look like the tab for a file. So we can do whatever we are wanting to do in this window. So we can really see how it works. I'm going to go ahead and go to the library's website. And we're going to go to the catalog because we want to just go ahead and look for some books. So I'm at the catalog, and I can't remember what book I want to read. So I'm going to now go to Goodreads, which is another website, but instead of going there in this tab in this browser, instead of clicking the URL bar here, right above that and just to the right of our first tab is a plus sign. When I hover over it, it even says open a new tab. And you can do that by the keyboard shortcut Control-T for tab. But I'm going to go ahead and just click the plus sign. Now I have a new tab open, but we're still in the same browser window. And in this browser, I am going to navigate to the Goodreads website, and we will sign in. So we'll do that really quickly. So here we are on our Goodreads, and let's say this currently reading book on the left side of our screen here, it's called Show Me a Sign. That's the book that I was wanting to read. So now I can navigate back to the library's catalog to search for it by just clicking back to that first tab. So with my mouse, I'm just navigating to the little tab at the top of my browser window. I'm going to left click once, and here I am back at the catalog. So I can go ahead and type in, show me a sign, see if we have it at the library. And we do. So from here, I could go ahead and place a hold on it or whatever else I'm interested in doing at that point. So rather than having to go to Goodreads, write down or somehow make sure I remember the book that I wanted to look up and then go back to the catalog, I was able to just switch between the two tabs, see the information that I needed, and then put it in the other tab. So you might be wondering, why would I do this if I could just open it in another internet browser window? To illustrate this, I am going to show you what happens when we have multiple windows open. And I am going to open Google Chrome for this example. So this is one browser window. I'm going to go, like I did before, to the library's website. So here I have one tab open, and you can see that Google Chrome displays their internet tabs very similarly to what we just saw in Firefox. So I could, just like in the other browser in Firefox, I could click this plus sign to open a new tab and navigate where I'm trying to go. Now, just to show you what happens if you don't do that, let's say we're just going to leave this window open, but I'm going to go ahead and open another instance of Google Chrome. So maybe now I go to Goodreads. And so I can quickly see that I've got multiple windows open. And if I want to go back and forth between them, see how they're kind of stacked on top of each other? Now, if I open a third internet browser window, we can really start to see the clutter on our workspace. And now these are all instances of the Google Chrome internet browser. They're just separate windows. And it starts to feel like, if you've ever experienced having pop-ups that come up on your screen and just suddenly your screen is full of different windows, this is what it's going to start to feel like the more instances of the web browser that you use. Instead of opening all of these, we could have all of these tabs in one browser window. And since these are all Google Chrome, I can actually put them together right now. So let me show you how I do that. So I'm going to take this tab that has the library's homepage. I'm going to left click and hold on that tab space in the title bar. And I see it did it right away without me even having to do anything. I just hold and I start dragging towards the next web browser, and it has to be in the title bar and they have to be the same web browser. So I now have both of these tabs are in one Google Chrome browsing window, but we still have another one, a third one here. So I can click on it to make it the active window. And then I'm going to, just like the other one, left click and hold and then drag my mouse. And as soon as it gets to that kind of title bar area, I have the option to, I can choose what order I want them to go in. I'm just still holding down on my left button on my mouse. And then when I let go, now I've got these all in one window. It just keeps it a little bit easier to manage. It's easier to flip back and forth between the different tabs because you can see what they all are. You don't have to go down to your taskbar to preview them in order to see which one is which. You don't have to minimize each window to see what the other one is. And they each have kind of a title on that little tab to give you a preview of what is in that window. So just like we saw with the physical file folders having the tab that had kind of a title or just a quick description of what was inside, it's the same thing with these tabs. So now I am going to show you what tabs look like in Microsoft Edge, because in this Browser Basics series, we are showing each concept in 3 web browsers. So we already looked at Firefox, we looked at Google. Now we're going to look at Microsoft Edge, which I just clicked on the icon on my desktop, and I already have 2 tabs on Microsoft Edge. So one thing that you can do with your browsers is set up multiple home tabs. So what that means is when you open a new instance of your internet browser, that specific browser, you can have it open more than one tab at the same time. So maybe you want it to open to Google, but you also want it to open right to your email so that you can check your email online, or maybe you want it to open directly to a news website or a newspaper website. You can do that. You have full control over that. It is something that you do in your settings menu, and you can do it in all 3 browsers. And then with each browser, you can still click that plus sign to open a new tab. It's always going to be to the right of the rightmost tab, if that makes sense. So you'll always find the plus sign to the right of the tabs, no matter how many there are. So I can show you, I can just keep opening new tabs. And now I'm starting to get close to the end of my display. So now my tabs are going to start they get a little smaller, so you can have multiple tabs, and to an extent it will adjust the sizing so that you can still see them all. After a while, that is not going to continue to be possible, but it's usually not the best idea to have that many tabs open anyway. So my suggestion would be 2 or 3 tabs is no big deal. More than that, you might start seeing a slowing of the time it takes to load a web page and that sort of thing. So just to keep that in mind. And then if you want to close the tabs with all 3 web browsers, they have X's in the right corner of the tab. And if you click on that X, it will close just that specific tab. And then the other tabs will kind of resize or adjust themselves so that the titles on them are a little easier to read. If you want to close all of the tabs at the same time, you would just go to the X that's in the very most upper right corner of the window and click that. That's the one that you normally click to close a window, and that does close all of the open tabs. So this has just been a quick overview of how we can get started using tabs in our web browsers. I hope this has been a helpful video for you, and check back next time when we continue our series on browser basics. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you let us know. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook on our MCPL 360 page. We have new videos every Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. And if you missed the live event, you can always find all of our videos on our YouTube channel. You can find all of our videos there on our consumer technology playlist. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you again next time.